Hello and welcome to another watercolor tutorial. In this video, I'm going to show you how to paint a loose and atmospheric winter scene watercolor painting, and I really hope you enjoy watching this tutorial. So for this painting, I'm using a piece of Saunders 300 pounds rough surface watercolor paper, and I'm using the back side of it, so the side that has less texture. I'm starting by wetting the top section of the paper using my size 12 round brush, and I'm leaving the house completely dry. So as long as the house doesn't have any water in it, all the colors that I'm going to apply to the sky section won't reach the house. If you're a beginner and you want to work more freely, feel free to use a masking fluid to cover up the house. I decided to choose only two colors for this painting, and that just emphasizes how important the composition is and the tonal value of the painting. And you can even paint a successful painting using just one color. So my first color is Lunar Blue. This is a very special color. Once it dries on the paper, the pigments separate and there's a hint of turquoise and a little bit of gray to it. So I highly recommend you purchase this color. It's really beautiful, especially for abstracted landscape paintings. But if you don't have this color, you can use indigo or Payne's Gray instead. And the other color is Quinacridone Burnt Scarlet, which is a muted down red. If you don't have this color, you can add a touch of brown or burnt sienna to any red, preferably warm red that you have available. As you can see, I used very loose brush strokes to paint the sky. I added a lot of water to these paints so that they are very watered down. We want them to be very light for the sky area, so make sure that they're not too dark. And once I was done painting the sky, I took the excess water off my brush, and I'm using pure lunar blue to paint the background trees. As I keep painting and adding more color at this stage, I'm keeping in mind that it's been about 5 minutes since I wetted the sky area, and my paper is starting to dry. So I'm making sure that my brush doesn't have too much water. I take the excess water using a paper towel, and then I make sure that I have pure thick paint on my brush so that I can keep adding more paint without risking creating those blooms. Okay, so this was step one, and we can let this dry completely, or we can move on to painting the land. I'm cleaning my brush and starting by wetting the bottom part of the paper. It's okay if I reach the trees a little bit. If they're still wet, I can have some of that color bleed into the land, and it can create a really nice, interesting effect. I'm also wetting over the top of the river as well, because right now I'm about to paint the shadow parts of the land, and the tonal value of the shadow parts of the land is much lighter than the river that we're going to be painting later. So I don't mind if I get some of this color on the river, because the river is going to be covered with much darker value color later. And the color that I'm using to paint the shadow parts of the snow is a mixture of Quinacridone Burnt Scarlet and Lunar Blue, because this red is a very grayed down brownish red. When you mix it with a dark blue, it can give you a gray color instead of a purple, which would be created with a more pure dark blue and a more pure red. Also, to create a more beautiful surface, I'm splattering some of the same color on top of the wet paper. I'm also sprinkling some table salt on the paper to create texture effects. And while the paper is still damp, I'm splattering some of the red color on the snow, and this can really help me with my color harmony, because I'm going to use this red color, to paint the house later, and it's really going to help if I use a little bit of it some other places in the painting as well. Okay, so now it's time to paint the roof of the house. I'm using pure quinacridone burnt scarlet, and I made sure that my brush is very dry, and I kind of separated the bristles, and as you can see, I'm painting the roof using dry brush technique. And now I'm cleaning my brush, taking the excess water off of it, and I'm trying to soften some of these marks. So as you can see, some of these marks get blended and they bring some color to the rest of the roof that didn't have any color on it, and this gives us some textured kind of a pattern for the roof of the house. And I'm using the same brush to paint the front and the side of the house. I'm using pure thick lunar blue for the top section of the front of the house, and then I clean my brush and I try to soften the bottom edges of that color. So this way I have variation in my tonal value, which can help me to have a more interesting effect for the house. So at the top section of the front of the house, the color is very thick and dark, which is the shadow part. So basically there's no light reaching that area. And once I clean the brush and soften the edges, at the bottom we have some lighter areas that blend in with the snow on the ground. I also used some horizontal lines and mark makings for the side of the house using dry brush technique. And at the end, just painting the door and the chimneys using pure lunar blue. Now for the last step of this painting, I'm wetting the surface for the river using my size 12 round brush. And I'm starting by adding pure lunar blue and keeping this color much darker at the top section of this river. And I think I'm going to switch to my smaller Chinese calligraphy brush. This brush is a little bit too big for this small area. And I'm just trying to have some expressive brush strokes and mark makings, especially for the edges of this river. Also, once I reach the farthest part of the river, I clean my brush, take the excess water, and I try to soften that and blend it where the river goes basically where we can't see it anymore. So the ground is covering up that area. That river is going away from the picture plane. So that area is going to be more blended and soft edged. I'm also trying to vary my colors. Even though I'm using only 2 colors for this painting, I'm trying to add a little bit of quinacridone burnt scarlet to lunar blue to achieve a more grayed down color for some areas in the river, and also create variation for the tonal value of the river. So some areas really dark with a really nice high contrast, and some areas can be much lighter. After painting the tree using a rigger brush and adding some finishing touches, the painting is finished. I really hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial. If you give this painting a try, please let me know how it goes, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy painting!